The 2016 Formula One season was an unforgettable one for the Mercedes racing team, not just because the British team won both the Constructors and Drivers championships, but also because of the season-long feud between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Lewis Hamilton was left playing catch-up as a competitive Nico Rosberg got the better of him at the end of the season. However, for the first time in 6 years, Lewis Hamilton's teammate has gotten the better of him again, and as a result, there have been rumours of tensions brewing behind the scenes between George Russell and the 7-time F1 champion. Nonetheless, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has now chimed in and responded to these rumours. Is the friendship between Lewis Hamilton and George Russell on screen a farce? Is the 7-time champion fed up with Mercedes? What else did Toto Wolff share?
We'd like you to know that we are close to reaching 20,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing to me, and honestly, this wouldn't be possible without you guys. So, thank you to each and every one of you, and I'm doing a massive worldwide giveaway. I'm giving away 300, that's right, 300 of these awesome F1 racing tyres from trendingniche.com, where all you have to pay is shipping. Literally the perfect thing to have if you're an F1 fan like us. All you have to do is click on the link below, add your free F1 racing tyre to your cart, and proceed to checkout. That's it! We'll also select 10 people that get any other product from the site to get a free F1 TV Pro subscription, so full access. They have a bunch of F1 related products like the circuit canvas, this box cap, or anything else you like. Use my discount code F1UPDATES to get a 15% off any order. So go get your free F1 tyre or any item you want. Also, if we get 500 likes on this video, Trending Niche will add another 200 tyres to the giveaway. Please keep in mind that we want the most people to get an F1 tyre, so all packages will be sent individually. Once again, thank you all for the support, and let's get straight into the video.
The Mercedes racing team has had a rollercoaster ride this 2022 Formula One season, struggling for most of the season. The lack of a win after 13 races this season clearly shows the Silver Arrow's difficult situation, and most importantly, it demonstrates how displeased 7-time F1 champion Lewis Hamilton must have been. The British driver, who was coming off a season in which he felt robbed of a record 8th championship at the dying minute of the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, has had to watch his adversary, Max Verstappen, lead the drivers' standings by a large margin and is on the verge of winning the championship for the second consecutive season, while he is 112 points behind. To make matters worse, George Russell, who replaced Valtteri Bottas for the 2022 season, has been the better Mercedes driver on the grid, placing 4th on the drivers' standings compared to Hamilton's 5th. And despite Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff even admitting that Hamilton has frequently chosen extreme setups to compensate for the struggling W13 to compete for wins, the British driver is yet to win a Grand Prix after 13 races this season. Nonetheless, Wolff has come out to describe the Hamilton-Russell relationship, stating that despite their competitive spirit, their relationship is one of the most supportive on the grid, and that, despite their less impressive season, which he describes as Groundhog Day, the main enemy between both Mercedes drivers is the W13. I think the biggest opponent for George and Lewis was the car, not the teammate or other drivers, and this has certainly been beneficial in some respects. They used different solutions and setups, even a lot on some occasions, with the aim of exchanging impressions and information useful to get out of the situation we experienced, Wolff said. The Mercedes boss, who was the team principal during Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton's frosty relationship in 2016, goes on to explain that while he understands the many concerns about both drivers' relationships, he sees no reason to be concerned at the moment because they are not even competing for race wins, let alone the championship. When the objectives become races and championships, I will be able to tell you if the respect I see today between the two will remain a predominant factor. When playing for the highest stakes, I think it's natural to have a bit of tension, but if people basically respect and value each other, then it will never go beyond what is allowed, said Wolff. Wolff also stated that he has no doubt that the Mercedes racing team has the best pair of riders in the paddock, and that even on difficult days, he has never had a problem with any of the drivers, and therefore, that regardless of Lewis Hamilton's frustration with how the 2021 final turned out against him, he confirmed that Hamilton has so far appeared to be positive about this disappointing season. At the beginning, like for all of us, it was not easy to accept reality. It is certainly not a pleasant experience, But after the first few races, he got his very special spirit back. He was totally focused on getting this car to the top, and even when we went through very difficult days, he was always the most positive person in the team, Wolff said. Furthermore, Hamilton has been on the podium in the last 5 races, finishing second in the French and Hungarian Grand Prix. As a result, Toto Wolff was quick to dismiss rumours that he was fed up with Hamilton and that he planned to replace him at the end of the season. The Mercedes boss clarified reports that he has been contacting other drivers on the grid, particularly Sergio Perez, in an attempt to move on from the 37-year-old driver who signed a new 2-year deal with Mercedes in 2021. Keeping that keeps him with the German manufacturer until the end of next season. It's a complete catar. I've never called Sergio. He's a good guy and I respect him, but I've never talked to him and haven't been in contact with any other rider. Lewis and I, even if the season would have gone wrong, we would have at least under the principle of hope staying together next year. And for a couple of months, we're talking if this is going to go 5 or 10 years. So none of that is true. I haven't been in touch actively or reactively with anyone about a drive with us going forward, Wolff said. Furthermore, the Mercedes boss has revealed that he is not unconcerned about the Silver Arrow's less impressive performance in the 2022 Formula One season and has so far studied Manchester United's failures in recent years to avoid a similar decline at the Mercedes racing team. Wolff explained that he studied the mistakes of Manchester United, who won a record 13 Premier League titles, including 3 consecutive titles on 2 separate occasions under their legendary Scottish manager Sir Alex Ferguson, but have yet to replicate their dominance since his departure in 2013, despite spending over $1 billion to sign new players and managers. Wolff, who took over in 2014, led the Mercedes racing team to 8 consecutive constructors' titles and 7 consecutive drivers' titles, but has seen his team struggle with porpoising while watching Red Bull and Ferrari racing teams compete for both the drivers' and constructors' championships. So given their present condition, he has had to study Manchester United to avoid a similar decline. I studied why great teams were not able to repeat great title runs, said Wolff, referencing United's record under Ferguson. No sports team in any sport has ever won 8 consecutive World Championship titles, and there are many reasons for that, and what is at the core is the human. The human gets complacent. You are not energized in the same way you were before. You are maybe not as ambitious, said Wolff. Regardless, he stated that he has chosen to view their problem as a learning curve rather than a disappointing one, and that he hopes to learn from their difficulties and do better in the future to avoid these challenges becoming a longer-term phase. I would say I'm enjoying getting it wrong at the moment because it's the basis for long-term future success, I believe. We are still the same group of people with the same ambition, energy, tools, funding. Maybe we need to tweak here and there because psychology plays an important role, but I believe this team has all it needs to be successful, but with no sense of entitlement. I want this to be a blip and not a longer-term phase of not being able to compete at the front, Wolff explained. However, in equally significant news, Wolff stated that Lewis Hamilton was not the only one who was still upset with the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix drama, as he still thinks about it every day, but he has made peace with the fact that Max Verstappen was a worthy winner of the 2021 Drivers' Championship. His statement about Verstappen being a deserving winner was based on the fact that the Dutch driver was arguably the best for the majority of the season, and despite being level on points with Lewis Hamilton before the Abu Dhabi race, he had won 9 races to the British driver's 8. Nonetheless, the drama that unfolded on the final lap of the race was heartbreaking, and Mercedes' boss has stated that he is pleased with how the new FIA president, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, handled the saga and hopes that such a mistake does not occur again in the future. What are your thoughts on the rumours that Lewis Hamilton is dissatisfied with George Russell? Do you believe Toto Wolff is telling the truth about the situation of the Mercedes drivers? Do you think the Silver Arrows should replace Lewis Hamilton anytime soon? Let us know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is worth your time.